All right, this video is going to be a how-to video on how to scrape company names and URLs from the LinkedIn search feature. The search and if you're searching and filtering from the search feature, how to scrape the company names and URLs. So first step is make sure to have, I just tested this and I'll show it working live really quick, and then I'll repeat the build for you all. But make sure you have your spreadsheet formatted so you have your headers in here. I'm going to grab the URL first, then grab the company name off of here so we can navigate directly to those websites, to those LinkedIn pages, which are websites. And then separate as well, outside of the automation, make sure you go to linkedin.com and then just add in your searches, add your filters in to get your end result of what you want to scrape first. So we're going to navigate directly to this page so we can copy the URL. Just keep in mind, anytime you add in a filter, you change this page, it's going to change the URL. So make sure you do this in a separate browser and not doing this in the automation to add unnecessary clicks. Let me show it to you live. So I've already built this and I'll just show it to you real quick. This is going to navigate through some of my login steps here. So it's on step 2, and it's going to paste data to this sheet here. So you see there's no data there now. So you can see what it's going to do. It's going to click login, or click where to log in, type in my login, click where to type in my password, sign in. I'm going to navigate directly to that page that I want to source. I'm using a custom step, scroll down step. Added a scroll down step for 3 seconds. Scrape the link, scrape the name, and then click the next button to handle pagination so we can scrape multiple links from multiple pages here. So you'll see this live here. So you'll see it progressing through these steps, and it should be scrolling down here shortly. So it's scraping right now. Step 10 is my next step. And it's going to scroll down, scrape. There's about 30 companies on each page. These look like they're the same company. So I currently have this looping through 3 times. And so this is a third loop. And so it should complete here shortly. And then we're going to see data pasted to here. Cool. So it looks like I grabbed 31, which I want to grab more. So anyway, let's get into how to build this. All right, I'm going to start with a new build. So once you have your spreadsheet formatted, you have your search identified, go into the app, add new automation, and click capture steps. And then step 1 here is to log into linkedin.com. Make sure to take your time, let it load. I do have my tray. We like to call this guy the tray. I have the tray on my primary window, my laptop, and I'm currently recording using my monitor right now. But you can delete steps if I have extra click steps in here. So far it looks pretty clean. Click where to type in my username, click where to type in my password, click sign in. Looks pretty clean. So from here, what I'm going to do is actually copy the URL of the search that I already have pulled up. And then I'm going to paste that directly into the Chromium window where I'm capturing steps. And then I'm going to scrape list. So first I want to grab the URLs. So I want to select 2 elements that are matching. As soon as I do, this window will pop up here asking, do we want to scrape the URL or the text? Because, well, me personally, as preference, you can do name first, then text. But I want the URL in column A, then I want the name in column B. So I'm going to select URL first. Then I'm going to repeat scrape list step. I can click on the same company, same two elements. I just need to capture those steps and click text. So in column A, I'm going to have the URLs. In column B, I'm going to have the company names. Now, I also want to make sure, because there's multiple pages on here. There we go. I want to make sure I capture this next button. So what I found on LinkedIn is the outer element. So I could, next is an element, this arrow is an element here. Whenever I click this outer element, it always works better for me. It's a good sign if it goes to the next page as well. Make sure that was captured in the tray, which looks like it was, and the automation. That's really all I need in there. And you can name this guy scrape new. Okay. So I'm gonna come in here, take a look at my steps, and then add the steps that I needed. So after I need to add in. So after I sign in, I'm gonna add a URL step because I want that to navigate to the pages that I want to source. So you'll just replace this step anytime you want to source a new page or use this automation. So what I wanted to do is go to that page and I want it to scroll down. So I'm going to add a custom scroll down step. And I'm going to have it scroll down for 3 seconds. Then scrape link, scrape name, click next. I'm going to set up a trigger and add a loop trigger because I want it to loop through a few steps a few times, right? So I'll click, I'm not going to add any sheets, so I'm going to skip sheets. And for testing purposes, we're going to have this loop through 3 times. Meaning what it's going to do is it's going to scrape, scroll down, scrape, click next. Scroll down, scrape, click next, right? And then if you wanted to schedule this automatically to run automatically from your computer, you could. All right. So now I have my loops built in here. I don't want the beginning of my loop to start with my login steps. I'm going to have it start with, I can determine exactly where I want it to start. And ideally, what I want it to start with is, let me add a little bit of a delay in here, 0.05. I'm going to have it start with step 7. So I'll start with a delay. So as soon as it clicks the next step, it's going to have a slight delay, let the website load, let the new page load, scroll down, scrape the link, scrape the name, and click next. And it's going to do that 3 times. So I'm going to click play steps and test. This is where it should be pasting data to. Oh, well, I did not add a sheets. So last step here is I need to make sure I send my data that I'm scraping to a specific sheet, which is this one here. And so I'm going to paste my URL, make sure it's shared with automations at taskmagic.com. I can see it's matching my columns and headers, and we're good to go now. So you'll see that this is going to navigate through some of our login steps. So I've recently logged in. It's going to scroll down here. step 8 and 9 should be scraping. Yeah. And then step 11 is going to be click the next button. And then it'll repeat this process, and I have this looping 3 times. Cool. So it looks like we got some data here. That's the skeleton of how to build this. Um, it did only grab 31. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I didn't count. So it may have grabbed all of them. Yeah, looks like it did. And so if I wanted to scrape more than just 3 of those pages, just make sure you up your loop to 10. You can do 100. It looked last time I looked at this page, it looks like there's 100. You can get all 100 on there if you want to as well.